Wow, welcome to my tube. My name's Marge. I'm Hayoka. I'm empath. I just like having these little conversations on the way I feel about things, and feelings are like data to me. Ideas, thoughts, it's like data collection to me, and we're just processors. I know a lot about mechanical things, what drives things, systems, push the button, pull the pulley, push the piston. Happy workers. It's a song in a movie called Toys. I highly recommend it. Robin Williams. See, some minds are brilliant enough that they can step into aspects of themselves. Personality, because we all have the same aspects. We're just all shades of the same aspect wheel. It's what you do with that vibe is what's important. And I feel like I'm of the vibrational sort of Rob. I'm comfortable enough to say that I am of the vibrational frequency, and if I get on it, when I get on the stage and I start going, and my energy starts flowing, and and I cooperate with and the audience cooperates with me. That flow, that cooperation, it's freaking fire, and everybody leaves elevated in a higher frequency. Hopefully, that's what I try to do. I'm trying just to leave things better than I found it. I'm just trying to leave the earth in a higher frequency than it was when I first incarnated, took my first breath. That's the only thing that's different between us and the dead, is our breath. That's all that animates us, is our breath, and that's in cooperation with our heart. That's our power source. It's what drives us. Some people, they've been so hurt and so broke for so long that they don't live from that heart space anymore. They closed it down. They locked up shop. They called it a day. And so now they live from ego and solely from ego. And then ego dances around with psychology. And then we have sociopaths, and the paths gets wider and the cracks get wider. And I don't look at the news much, I don't want to know. I freaking live in Oregon, and the governor here, she's just an idiot, man. She must have a lot of money to pay people. That's what she did, is she's like, all right, boys, if you guys vote for me and make sure that your families vote for me and everybody votes for me, I'll make sure you get an $80 million police station right across the street from where homeless people sleep. Hundreds of people sleep in tents. But we'll keep them cleared off. But as long as you keep the people cleared off, and stuff like that, you'll get your $80 million police station. It's like a smack in the face, and people are waking up. Oh, speaking of DDK, don't drink the Kool-Aid. Keep going over their page and watching their old stuff and comedy. They're in freaking YouTube jail right now. Yeah, so go tweak with help them tweak with their algorithms to keep them on the board, because you know how active they are, and that's what you got to know. That's why I was like, I've been seeing a lot of rerun stuff, and I know they changed the algorithms recently because I pay attention, and I'm trained for it. And so, sent DDK an email going, hey, you all right? And they're like, hey, it's because we're the same vibe, and I can feel it, and plus deductive reason, they hadn't posted nothing. They regularly post, a few times stories, sharing stuff, and I just want to let them know that we're all on the same team, we're all connected, we ain't gonna snuff out low vibrational beings. We ain't gonna do it. Best hope we got is to raise the frequency of more and help more people heal, so they stop doing the hazardous behaviors that are detrimental to kids and the next civilizations. Yeah, so I'm seeing a lot of consequences. Yeah, that's what I was saying. I live in Oregon, and they're phase 2 opening. Everybody, if you go in a public space, you wear a mask. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. I'll wear a suit I will wear a suit. I will wear my Air Force uniform. I will do whatever I can to show people, to let them know I'm a person that knows what I'm talking about, and I'm not going to wear your stupid masks. I'm not going to do it. I have an immune system. And it's just fearful people do fearful things, and people are figuring it out. Energy. I did a meditate state today, got like an hour and freaking 30 minutes, I'm sure. It was solid, it was good. I came back down and I had to write notes. Because that's what you do. It raises you into higher frequency and you get a bird's eye view of things. And I'm like, they're playing both sides. There's just antagonists. I know who they are. I'm related to them. I see them my whole life. I walk down the street. That's why I ignore people, because the power trippers, the control freaks, the people without spirit, the no vibers, not the low vibers. I'm talking the no vibers, the ones that animals growl at, that dogs growl at. And they're like, oh, you're so cute. And the animal's like, and it's like, why is my dog reacting like that? Because your dog is encountering a human being void of spirit. People that do void of spirit, as you know, check out the red shoes, will do anything and everything, because don't you know who they are? And they're all the ones that just like to ruin things, The one that tells the alcoholic, oh, you don't have a problem with alcohol. Because they don't want to drink alone, because they got a problem. See, so they don't want to say, well, I've had people that don't recognize they have a problem with alcohol tell me I got a problem, and I already know I have a problem. That's why I don't drink it. It's a tool of deviation. It allows your spirit to go and allows my spirit to go in lower dimensional frequencies, and then I think like the culprit. And sometimes when people do that, as we're seeing on the main stage, police do that too. But alcohol brings you into such a headspace that sometimes you don't ever get out of it, and then you start believing the storylines that you're supposed to be breaking up, and then you start playing along, and then who's protecting who from who? So they're playing both sides. So you have people, that have probably work for these 6 cable companies that run the narrators for everything, that are going back and forth, going, dressing up, playing the role as whatever scenario is being played out, and then because we're seeing all these same people, like pictures in the same, because they're all acting the same roles and they all do the same thing, because people are just like attracts like. Yeah, people are figuring it out. Let's go back to yeah. So that's who, because it's all about money. Because to people without spirits, it's prophets that get their nillies going. Prophets that give them, because loving their wife doesn't do it, because they need Viagra. And some of these people, men and women both, they can't get going, like, and don't, sex sells and it's all that matters in the world, and that's how you prove love and blah 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 blah. Freaking sex is so stupid. I'm so glad that more kids are freaking putting it off, because you're messing with energy and karma, and it's for chasing sensations, and it's just really quite primitive. And for people to go to the extremes, like the Epsteins, and all the politicians and the stuff. Oh, and did you see Danny Masterson got arrested for 3 charges of rape? Knew that was coming. I know who they all are. I know, I can feel them. They all wear the same shoes. They have the same swagger. And it's just, they're every human being that lives from ego, that comes from the heart space of, don't you know who I am? I come to the heart space of service before self. That's why I always get kicked in the ribs by my dog. I'm wearing my Duncan t-shirt. I'm retrograding. I'm going back in the fields. Always in my heart. He is my first interweb online love. He crossed the rainbow bridge. He was a metasophagus dog. He had to sit upright because, people got to have their breeds, their special breeds. Mad science. Anyway, I cried for 3 days when he died. I did not take it well. But on a brighter note, it was right at the same time I got to meet Obi Dog. Yeah, so that was like a low point. And then it's how the universe does. When there's a blow, there's always a silver lining. Something good happens of it. And I started following Obi, and then that's in its own storyline in itself. So people are figuring out. People are shorting out, you know. At this point... Oh, okay, that's what here's what I wrote. Go back. I just came out of meditation. I can hardly even read my own writing. Look at the cable companies. Look who gets to fear. Mom and I talk about this all the time. People profit from fear. People get scared, they spend money. People get scared, they buy guns. People get scared, they break things. People get scared, they have emotions they don't know how to deal with it. In the psychopaths, go on. They get to profit from it without ever getting their feelings hurt, because there are people in this world that really do not feel feelings. They're in like that, but there's a good side of that too, because if there were people that like me, I can't be a veterinarian because I come so much from my heart space, but we need those people that omit that and ignore those feelings and shut them down and close them off, so that they can cut into an animal. Because me, I'm like, no, they're too cute. I love them. I'm too much in the spirit. And, Tuck, you all right there? Ta-ta. Toss. Pause. Hey. What are you doing? Are you stuck in a loop? You get so hot when you do that. Oh, it's just buzz. Good? Yeah? Pretty man. Yeah. Well, nugs. He spent the first 6 months of his life in a cage. Didn't even have a ground. He was on cage. So now his nails grow weird. I hate taking him to... I gotta take him to get his nails done. See, I have to take him because he feeds off my fear. Because that's what dogs do. They feel emotions. That's why they're always comforting the ones they love. And they're always licking and they're always soothing. Because they're soothers. That's what they do. But then you have the control freak that likes to take advantage of that and manipulate it, and you know, and then try and hurt it and try to make it less, take the less of the essence to make him less loving, because that's what happened to them. That's what people do. And I just want, at this point, I just want people to be safe, you know, and just, there's just going to be more and more examples of people shorting out and going crazy, and I can go into the logistics at another time. The fact is I want people to just learn how to listen to themselves, and if you feel uncomfortable in a situation, leave the area. Leave the area. I don't even care. If you like get a whiff of your grandma's perfume, you know, and it sends you in an instant in a thought process, you know, of like safety, if something that your grandma used to, I don't even care. You get hints from the universe, you act on them. Because scared people, they're trigger happy. And there's a lot of fearful people in the world. Because every time I go to the laundromat, I see it's freaking, ain't nobody wearing masks in and out of the freaking gun shop. And it's always getting deliveries, constantly getting deliveries. And they're constant turnover and constant people in and out and in and out. And it's just like, I'm paying attention to all these kids and all these people that are buying these guns, you know, and fearful people do fearful things. Because what's the threat? What's the threat? Who's the threat? What's the threat? Why are people wearing a mask? Because less than 150 people have died in Oregon that didn't care enough about themselves to be, the majority of them. Yeah, I know that there's the occasional little healthy person dies of the Rona. Not my Rona. This is not my Rona. My Sharona. Not my Rona. It's not mine. This ain't my virus. This is a made-up thing. That's what these... Dude, if people realize what they do in the military, they have us move around and play exercises, just pretend like you're creating scenarios. They get to go to resorts and lavish places all over the generals get to stay in the great places while us freaking grunts are making stuff happen on the ground. from nothing, from an open field, because somebody imposes a threat. Whose threat? Come on, whose threat? Fear is a commodity, folks. Go lay down. I need to calm down. I'm getting fired up. Dogs are getting fired up. Fear is a commodity and it sells. And people buy it and eat it up. And the psychopaths just profit a lot from people getting scared. So I just want people to learn how to meditate and tap into the flow. That's where all the freaking knowledge is, man. That's where that's where Tesla got his ideas, Einstein, all the freaking Steve Jobs, all the great minds. It's not, or like something occurs to them as they're staring off into space. It's a meditative state, We're all a piece of the puzzle. But some pieces just have no color and no vibration, and well, quite frankly, just in the nick of time, they're messing with the harmonic convergence of the rest of us, and I think everybody's sick of it. So what were some other things worth talking about in terms of news? I won't wear a mask. So now they're saying you can't go to a grocery store. You can't go buy food unless you have a mask on your face. So you're depriving people of their everyday rights, is what you're doing. And I won't comply. So guess who gets to profit? Walmart and the people and I talked to those kids. The last time I went to Walmart, I was talking to the people that go around and shop, the shoppers, And I'm like, and then I'm asking them logistical questions about like their inventory and supply, because that's all the stuff I studied when I was in college, business information systems. I'm constantly looking at logistics. I sleep really good at night because I can shut off my mind, but however, at the same time, man. Anyway, yeah, so they're saying, you can't go to this dumb bitch, Katie, I'm the boss. Fucking, I'm bisexual. No, you're not bisexual. No, ain't nobody on the freaking rainbow flag claim you. Ain't none of them claiming you, Katie. I would love to have a conversation with that woman. I would love to sit down and talk to her as a spirit to whatever she is. Opportunist, fascist, sellout, soul sack, empty soul sack at that. And I would say these things to her face, because I don't care who people are. Either you're a high vibrational being or no vibing. And I'm sick of the no vibing motherfuckers. Excuse my language. I'm trying not to. I curse when I get fired up. So, anyway, am I talking to myself? Oh, people are going crazy. They're going to be committing suicide. And that's the thing, is everybody's raising in vibration and frequency. So drinking, we're becoming more sensitive. So people are going to drink their normal amount, but it's going to mess with their mind in a weird way. Or it's going to do something to or it's like more concentrated, because we are more sensitive, because everybody is moving from carbon-based to crystalline-based, and we're all crystals. And how does crystals, that was the way of the whole earth before, it was all crystals. That's how they moved the frickin' stones in the pyramid. Sorry, bud. They moved the stones in the pyramids by using crystal power and telepathy and all these telekinesis, these abilities that some people have, and just in trying to get other people to just, hey, play around, screw around, see what what your superpowers are, see what you can do. I know that there's so many superpowers are like just reading animals, like people that give animals stupid voice. That's an empath. They're reading the spirit of that animal. They're giving him a personality. He's reading, And then people that, don't recognize that, and that that believe that you need to have dominance and control over an animal and that an obedient animal is a happy animal and all that stuff. Yeah, that stuff is true to a point. At the same time, ain't no dog ever happy with those prong neck things. I want to put those on the people that put those on their dogs. When I see that, that's what I want to do. Yeah. See how that and people that it was funny. I have a kindergarten crush on Shia LaBeouf, and I was reading about him last couple days. He's a tiny man. He's small in stature. You know, he's only 5'9" for a man. You know, but like you see him and he does all this stuff because he's small and he's wily and he's agile. Anyway, he was carrying his dog on the sidewalk, and that was the coolest thing. Because I mean, I've seen people straight up on blacktop walking their dogs, you know, they're in flip-flops. I'm like, and I've asked, you know, why do you hate your dog? And they're like, what? I'm like, why don't you walk barefoot and see if it's hot on your feet, you know? Their feet are pads, their feet are made for this. I'm like, dude, you're an idiot. You know? And people that just don't think about other people and other things and only think about themselves are no vibers. And that ain't a fun world to live with. So I see two worlds splitting off, the fearful and the faithful, you know. Everybody has a choice every day, and it's just going to be more. Because I'm not going to go to places, you know. Who's going to go to these places to do this? Boy, wearing them. I think people, those are the dark siders. You got too much into feeling what it would wanting to know it'd feel like to be Darth Vader. You're a fool. You know, all that stuff. You're a Sith. You're constrictor. You're fearful control freaks. Frequency. You control low vibing freaks. And I'm a freak. No. It's all scientific, really. It's all really quantum. And I was thinking about that when people boil. You know, where when water boils, it frickin', you know, you add heat and it changes the form of water. It changes it to steam. It's all alchemy. And we're 70% water. So you get people that are negative all the time. Negative. Because people used to always tell me how negative I was because I never even talked. It's just the way my face goes, and people are just all, and then so I'm like, oh, these people are telling me how they are. They're telling me how they are, not how I am, because people see, I mean, I knew that adults say terrible things and do terrible things to children because I've had all these things happen to me. And then I tell other adults, and they're like, no, because they can't believe it. They can't imagine it happening. So in their reality, it doesn't happen. But in my reality, this is my world time and time again. And the belief isn't there. But what's happening with like the Danny Mastersons and more of the perverts that are coming out and getting busted and stuff, people are like, I knew it. And so people are going to start reporting more. And justice is going to be served, and all the shit that happened to me that got gone unpunished, you know, all that karma that people collected by making an example out of me, they're going to get it back more than I care to know. I don't want to know I don't want to, you know, people are like, spiteful people want to know the outcome about how bad shit happens to people that do bad stuff to happen. I don't want no bad things to happen to nobody. I want less bad things to happen to people so they do less bad things to other people. It's as simple as that. And I think people keep waiting for me to be some sort of cretin. You know, I do have a shadow side, but that's also why I do full disclosure here, talk about most everything I do. There's some things are sacred and I like to keep private to myself. Sometimes, and I'm learning what that is, you know. Oh, here's another justice that's being served. You know, it's like all the people that are like, with all your little squaring out the squares and the, you know, with your banners and changing this and, you know, all this injustice and all this stuff, you know, MLK stuff and Aunt Jemima to remove image from packaging and rename brand. Well, it's about fucking time. Excuse me. Confounded. You know? Why is it Aunt Jemima? You know? Because you can't tell the kids at school it doesn't look right to say she's our slave. So that was slang, what they, codes and being discreet and all that. So people that gotta be discreet are creepy. What are you being discreet from? Yeah, no, I believe in discretion. I do. But anytime anybody is too much of any of one thing, you gotta address it. And that's what we're seeing is the imbalance in people that have not addressed the imbalances in them, and their egos and their self-wills are completely running riot. Literally, self-wills running riot in the street right now. And I don't know. I'm ready at all time. I'm at the grocery. I mean, I'm trained in this. I'm all about security. And I recommend people, I don't go to the same, I get bored too of doing the same routine over and over. So I don't go to this grocery store the same time 2 times in a row. You know, there's a reason for things like that. People are patterns. And if somebody wants to be a target, all you got to do is watch them. I mean, they take their trash out at the same time every week. Are they taking their trash out? Is somebody else taking their trash out? You know? I mean, I'm an anthropologist. I'm an esoteric Sherlock Holmes, and that's about all I got for now. Hope you have a rad evening. Peace.